I am at Sweetwater Studios, the premier recording studio in the Midwest. They bring in the top talent. They have the best equipment to produce amazing albums. I'm going to talk to an engineer and learn more. Come on. I am chatting with Shawn Dealey, who is the chief engineer here at Sweetwater. Hi.
How you doing?
Doing great, thank you. Well, I'm excited to learn more about this place and your role. So give us a little overview about Sweetwater Studios.
Cool. Yeah, so Sweetwater Studios has effectively been around since 1979. Chuck started the company as a remote recording studio, so we've been running this side of the business since the late 70s. So its current iteration here on the Sweetwater campus in Fort Wayne has been here since 2008. So we were lucky enough to have purpose-built studios in 2008. So there's Studio A, B, and C here that we'll take a look at today.
Yes.
And looking forward to sort of showing you around and what we do here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, quite an establishment here in the city. Beautiful building, just a really cool vibe walking in, very laid back, and a creative space, as it should.
Yeah.
So share with me about your role. What do you do as chief engineer?
So I oversee all of the technical aspects of what goes on in the studio. Okay. I handle most of the recordings that come in here, so I engineer and produce records with different artists. We do a lot of marketing content as well, so when we have visiting artists, I'll take lead on that. So on top of that, make sure everything's functioning properly, and we do a lot of business development. So we're always looking for artists to work with and finding local bands or national or international level artists to come make records here at Sweetwater Studios.
Okay. So you come and they're able to come and really just use the facility, or you all do the whole shebang from beginning to end to make the record?
We can take a project from start to finish. We work with songwriters, producers, and musicians. So we have in-house session musicians. So if you don't have people that play in your band or you need someone to play something, we have those people available to be part of a project. And then we can take your project from the inception of a song, concept to a finished product.
Nice.
We're going to walk through our Dolby Atmos mix room, which is the latest sort of deliverable format that Apple and Tidal have been using. So we can take pretty much an idea into a final Atmos mix out the door here at Sweetwater Studios. So.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Come on. So Shawn, share with me, you all just went through a remodel of your studios. What was that process like?
So it doesn't really look like that on the outside, but the internal parts of all the studios have recently changed. So we're going to go walk through some of the rooms. We did technical upgrades in all the rooms, new computers, recently installed Dolby Atmos capabilities in Studio B, which is a pretty cool thing we'll probably talk about in a little bit here. Installed a new recording console in Studio A, and so just an overhaul of the technical capabilities of the space.
Yeah, so this here, which studio are we in?
We're in Studio C, so this is the smallest of the three studios. So in the recording process, this studio gets used a lot for vocal overdubs, songwriting demos, and things like that. We're able to record vocals isolated. We mix in stereo here, so we have a great set of studio monitors and the capabilities of sort of doing many different things in this space.
Okay, great. So share with me about the process of building and making an album, a track, a song, all of the above.
Yeah, no, it's a long, tedious process, but it's quite a fun thing to do. It starts with hopefully a great song and a group of great songs, putting them together, and so sometimes we'll come into a studio space like this and work with the artist and figure out a little bit of pre-production of what exactly we want to do with the songs and how we would treat them. So loaded up with some cool gear from Sweetwater.com. We're able to do a lot of really fun stuff in this space. So continuing on with the process, usually once we kind of get a framework of the songs figured out, we sort of take that out of this space and start working on things in Studio A, where we would actually record whole groups where we can record drums and keyboards and live instruments. So
nice. Wow. that requires a lot of space.
It sure does.
To get all of the instruments in. And then you have like these smaller spaces. So these are just like sound track spaces where you just go in and do audio.
Yeah, so this is where we would have a singer or a guitar player, fairly well isolated, so when we close these heavy doors, we don't hear any of the noise from the outside or anything from what we're listening to in the control room. So isolated so we can get really great recordings in here. And so we have a couple of these spaces connected here between studios B and C. There's a window between the rooms, so we can have two different musicians isolated playing together while we're recording. So,
well, you know, I'm gonna have to take y'all inside of here because this microphone is amazing. Makes you wanna do 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 do. How fun is this? Like, so they're just in here jamming, and then you have the little windows. So do they connect? Are the sound people on one side and the musicians on the other?
Yeah, everyone's on headphones, so they all have their own mixes, and they get to hear what's going on.
Okay. Oh, how fun. I love singing, but I can't. But I always grab a mic. Okay, so we have the other sound studio here, and then this beautiful room. Wow.
Yeah. So this is
wow.
We feel like it's the future of music. This is our Dolby Atmos mix room. We have 14 speakers in this space, so we can mix for Dolby Atmos, Apple Spatial Audio, and it's a pretty cool new format. So we had our friend Mike Miller, who's coming to do some workshops with us, who did the Harry Styles record and did some stuff with SZA, and so we have some connections to some people who've worked on some Grammy-nominated records. So we're pretty excited to have some friends that are up for some cool awards this weekend.
Yes, that is really exciting. So you have to share with me some of the biggest names who have been inside of the studios to produce their records.
Well, so we've had a lot of people come through. We were looking at some pictures on the wall. Chick Corea was here years ago. We've had some guitar icons come through, like Eric Johnson, who's a very iconic guitar player. Paul Gilbert's coming in a few weeks to do a masterclass recording workshop with us. Kenny Wayne Shepherd is coming back. He was in the fall here making a record with us. We're trying to branch out into more stuff. We are doing a lot of different things these days, but it ends up being a little bit more focused around the gear that the people are using instead of our connection to Sweetwater retail. So.
Okay, yes. Okay, wonderful crossover. I love it. Well, thank you so much for giving me a tour.
Yeah, no problem.
And checking this place out. So you have to stay tuned for the workshops and just all the events and all the information that they have available. We'll make sure it's listed below.